10 o'clock and, well, 18 degrees. The weatherman's winning right now. But believe me, folks, Barbara's up next at 20 degrees. And then I'm saying 22 degrees. Have faith, we're going to get there. We really are. It's Monday, October the 10th, and you're right here at Galaxy. Let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and so very, very happy to have you join us. It really is a pleasure. And I tell you what, if you're going to be watching this a little later on over there on YouTube, you know what to do, right? No, you do. Seriously, you do. Honest. Sub, thumb, bell. Bingo. Bell notifications when we have important people, much like Robbie Watson coming from 88 Acres Band. It's a tongue twister, really it is, but I'm going to get it right. And he's coming out of Ontario. Yes, Cornwall, Ontario at that. So, that's why we say notifications. Like us. Yeah, get epileptic with the thummy thing, you know. Give it the double, treble, quad treble D. Then subscribe. Become part of the Galaxy family. We call it the noise here at Galaxy simply because it is growing exponentially. Now let me tell you how happy we are to be in association with Rise Up TV, Big Records, Sony Music, The Orchard, here with Galaxy.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy 107fm in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record and Sony Music The Orchard.
You know, I think I got it wrong. I need to apologise. It's Robbie Watson. I think I called him Robbie Williams. Don't want to do that, really. But I do apologise. Today we're joined by Robbie, the man himself, Robbie Watson, from the band 88 Acre. And let's kick it off. Rock me, little country girl. That gives us a couple of minutes to get to know each other.
Okay.
So, Robbie,
Pretty.
how long have you been performing as a singer?
Since I was 5 years old.
Oh, so you were a late bloomer.
Yeah, a little late bloomer, yeah.
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 I spoke to one person about a year ago. She says to me, "Oh, I've been performing since I was 2." It's like, what? Seriously? She goes, "Oh yeah, I used to be a beauty queen and sing at the same time and stuff like that." And she's been doing it ever since. My God, she's so well polished now, and she's only 17 years of age.
I would believe it in most cases because a lot of people can sing before they can talk.
Yeah.
It's funny. And some people see colors for music, you know, like my old man, God rest his soul.
Sorry to hear that. Brian Wayne Perry is joining us. Hello, Brian. Nice to have you on board, my brother, man. Oh, by the way, the other interview we did the other day, you said pass him on. We have given him all the information, and hopefully he gets in touch with you. Also, Kaylee's joining us, Kaylee Amanda, and Pamela. Nice to have you on board, Pamela. Pamela is one of the executives from Rise Up TV and Big Records. Are you familiar with these guys?
I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm familiar with like maybe Big Records and Sony, yes, but the Rise Up Television, no, I haven't been following much television lately.
Okay.
Working too much.
Well, let me tell you, Robbie, these guys all fly under the same banner. It's pretty much owned by the same person, if you know what I mean. And what Rise Up TV does is they got a big ass bus. It sleeps about 22 people in this thing. You know, it's huge. And they go along and grab an unsuspecting poor musician, pretty much like yourself, throw them on the bus and take them touring for a while. You know what I mean? Problem is,
sounds like a lot of fun.
well, it is, but the problem is, remember the days of whatever stayed on the road? Stayed on the road?
Yes.
Yeah, not anymore. We're not with the TV crew.
No.
Believe me, it can be embarrassing. And by the way, these guys are actually coming to New Zealand as well, so...
I'd do that.
Some of their
Sign me up.
Some of their crew at the moment, would you believe, is actually in Ireland. We only spoke to them a wee while ago. They're heading to Norway. They're doing all sorts of zigzaggy things, getting prepared to come here, and they need to be prepared for that. Let's go live, my bro. Welcome to Galaxy. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today, very, very important, because you know something? I'm really impressed. Doesn't happen often, but when I'm absolutely heard Robbie Watson and the 88 Acre Band for the very first time, I went, I want to know more about this, I really do. So, we got them on the giggy machine, and before you know it, he's joining us now. Welcome to Galaxy, Robbie.
Thank you for having me, Grant. It's great to be here.
It is an absolute pleasure, sir. Now, believe me, I asked you while we were getting the first track out of the way how long you've been singing. 5 years of age. Doesn't show a day over 4.5.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm afraid to be 4.5 plus 5. Oh, geez.
No. First of all, let's wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving in Canada.
Thank you so much. I'll let everyone know that you send your thanks. Thank you.
Well, I tell you what, give the wife a hug from me and everybody else a poke in the eye, okay?
I will do that. That's my favorite thing to do.
Nice.
Poke people in the eye.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like me, my bro. You really, really are. Anita, coming out of Antwerp in Belgium, is asking, Robbie, as a fan, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Are you a talker? But more importantly, Robbie, do you respond?
I respond all the time. I do the best that I can to respond. My wife does a lot of work, too, for me while she's at home and I'm out at work. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Apple Music, iTunes, everywhere. Anywhere you can think of. Google. You Google search and I'll pop up and you can find whatever you're looking for.
Now, Travis, coming out of Charlotte in North Carolina, is asking, okay, fair enough, we can get you on all of those. Do you have a website where we can buy merch? Do you have a merch store?
Yes, there is a merch store at 88acresband.ca. You can get t-shirts, hats, pins. We have other sweaters coming up soon to be available. Just pre-order.
Very cool. A little later on, I'm going to actually hit you up for a t-shirt, to be very honest with you, and
Please send the address and I will ship them out to you.
nice.
Not a problem.
I'll get Barbara onto that, believe me, because you'll be surprised. Today I'm wearing, yeah, the brothers, literally, and while we're doing the interviews, people are on the interwebby thing, they're finding out who these guys are and buying product. As far as answering everything, I usually say no. No, I wouldn't answer a damn thing. Mainly because I have people that do that for me, but you're going to get another 5,000 Facebook fans. You're going to be on the phone all day, you get nothing done.
Well, that's kind of like the fun part, right? If you can be playing music and be on social media and not have to worry about the bills, then it's so easy to press the buttons. But like you said, we have people who press buttons for us, and occasionally I do get in there, though. I do.
Yeah, believe me, you're very brave, because I don't. I really, really don't. Tasha from Old Hickory Lake in Nashville is asking, what is the most... Well, what's the pinnacle? Sorry, what's the pinnacle of your career at this date? What is the most memorable thing?
Right now, it would have to be a show we did a few weekends back at campgrounds, and just people, being together, coming together, uniting as one, making a lot of noise. You know, like that's my favorite part about it. It's like you said earlier, it's all about the noise. And the louder they get, the more energy, electricity runs through me. And I just project that right back to them. So, yeah, just the roar of the crowd. That is my pot of gold. That is my pot of gold.
Believe me, Robbie, I fully understand that. I've got to be honest with you. I've been working with some of the biggest bands around the world over my career. I've been very, very lucky with what I've had to do. I've been a front of house and also a studio engineer in my career, as well as a DJ, and working with some of the most prestigious sound equipment you could ever get. You know what I mean? Including some one band, and believe me, I've never used that equipment before, was using quadraphonics. And
Okay.
they were a very, very big band. I think they're the only band in the world that put quadraphonics and lasers and everything together all at the same time. And their name started with a P, if you know what I mean. As a session engineer, I was very, very lucky to be able to work with a band like that. So when I hear a band from time, and believe me, I hear bands every day, Robbie, I really, really do. But it's not often that I absolutely stop in my tracks and say, hold on, play that again. I want to know this. I want to find out more about it. And that's what it was when I very first heard Rock Me Little Country Girl. It was the very first song I heard of yours. So I think it would be remiss of me if I didn't say, Robbie, tell me a little bit about the lyrics. Tell me about this track.
This track is one of my favorites. The producer I work with is Mark Muir, and he does my engineering and producing. But I'm at home with my acoustic, and I'll sit at the kitchen table with a coffee cup, and I'll look at my life. And let's say the night before she rocked my world. In this case, that's what kind of happened. I was kind of like reminiscing from the night before, drinking a coffee, playing a couple bar chords, and I came up with the first couple lines, just like, hey, sweet thing. And like just one thing led after another, and I'm looking at her going, wow, it's been 5 minutes and I'm done. And I'm like, I love you. You're my muse. Because when I look at you, you give me what the piece that's missing before I met you. And that's how Rock Me came about. I just started telling the story about my wife, who is my little country girl.
You know, I love that. I really, really do. I got to let you know, and Robbie, this is quite true. It's really not easy getting an interview here at Galaxy. We're in every English-speaking country of the globe, literally, and I'll give you stats at the end of this. I'm not going to give them to you now because it's going to grow exponentially. But we have a board, and they choose what Barbara puts before them, literally, and believe me, not everything gets through. It's more about our image and the music that we're playing. So it's got to be good, and that's the way the board looks at it. Then it goes back to Barbara. Barbara takes it to production. Production and Barbara disagree a lot because there's only a certain amount of time in a week that we can actually get these interviews in. You know what I mean? So
I know exactly what you mean.
we can only fit in a number. Then it comes to me. Barbara hands it to me on a little USB kind of device that I Bluetooth to my stereo in my car. And I've got to be honest with you, Robbie, I've got a kick-ass stereo in my car. I really, really do.
Yeah.
And I go driving. Now, where we are right here, we're in the middle of about 3 major cities. Literally, there's Tauranga, Rotorua, and Whakatane. We're in a little sawmilling village in the middle of this. So we're surrounded by forestry. And I kind of know where they hide the keys to the padlocks. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
I go driving in the fire breaks, and I like music that you can drive fast to. Okay, I really do. Now, literally, when I very first heard Rock Me Little Country Girl, I pulled over, turned it back, cracked the cold one. I've got to be honest with you, I cracked the cold one, took in the scenery, and absolutely loved it. Really, really do. And as you say, your wife is your muse. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant track, and so very, very happy to have you telling me about it. Now, this was your first hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is the first hit. This one is the one that really took off, which gave me an understanding on, like I found my voice, I found what I was trying to tell stories for traditional country music, and found where it was fun. And sometimes trying to write a really good song it's not stressful, but it's can be disappointing at times. You know, when you crumple up the paper, throw it away, you go back at hit the books again, go back at it. So when the first one came around, it's just like I found my wings, found my voice. And then, of course, it's like if I just look at her, that's how I write most of my music. Most of my songs that you will hear will be a piece of what may have gone on in my life at that time.
Absolutely understand that, but I'm kind of worried about you now because when was the last time you wore a sundress?
Well, it normally on a Sunday, so I don't have it on today, but the sundress, that is something beautiful. That's you talking cracking a cold one. My wife's in the garden. Tammy is in the garden. She's got my favorite sundress on. The sun is coming through. It's just recently where I wrote that one as well. I think I wrote it maybe a year ago at the most. And yeah, like write a song about the sundress. And the funny thing about the sundress is when I went to Mark, the producer, he's like, Robbie, you got 2 songs in one. Pick something and work on that, because I was talking about working and coming home to the girl in the sundress, and I've done that enough times. So let's just worry about the sundress. So that was a lot of fun. So to answer your question, maybe tonight I'll wear a sundress, maybe not. I'll let you know. I'll tag you in a photo, maybe.
Definitely want photos. If not, video would be good. But in the meantime, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined by Robbie Watson, the man himself from 88 Acre. Yeah, here he is, Sundress. I love your style of...
Thank you. You're making this very easy. Thank you so much. I've been nervous all day.
Oh, no. Believe me, I'm the one that's nervous, my bro. I'm very humbled that you would say something like that.
Yeah, I much appreciate, much obliged to be here.
Jan Paulson is watching. Nice to have you on board, Jan. I see Tim and Bob are heading your way tomorrow. Oh, OMG. Have fun. They are just the best guys. They really are. So enjoy. Give Gear a poke in the eye for me too, won't you? Brian Wayne Perry is saying Old Hickory Lake is a reservoir formed by an old hickory lock and dam. It is located on the Cumberland River at mile 216.2 in Davidson in Summer counties. This location is about 25 miles upstream from Nashville. And its mainstream storage and compoundment found on the Cumberland River. Very cool. Shimmer Johnson's joining us as well. Hello, Shimmer. Nice to have you back. Thank you, Brian, for the lesson, the history lesson.
He also said that Robbie has a wonderful voice.
Robbie has a wonderful voice, yeah. By the way, the man I'm talking about, Brian Wayne Perry, he's got his own label. He's been in the business since his grandfather started it up. It's very, very, it's an established and well-respected company. It really, really is. And I'm very, very lucky to be friends with Brian. I call him a friend anyway, so believe me. If you've ever considered a label, I have a number of friends who I trust that I would only give to people I trust. You know what I mean? And Brian is one of those. I know exactly
what you mean. That would be a conversation for another time.
Absolutely.
Hold beers and, you know what I mean? Like virtual.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That does sound promising in most areas.
Well, I'll tell you what. There is something I do want to talk to you about, and I would love to do this, is get you into a magazine. A friend of ours comes out of India. He's in a region of about 8 million people, and really, Robbie, I think he knows each and every one by first name. He's that bloody popular. He really is. But this magazine is quality across the board. It really is. Some critics that I've spoken to in that game have told us, it's as good as possibly being the next Rolling Stone kind of magazine. It's got that quality about it. I would love to have your permission to get Barbara to put you in touch with Jay. You will love the guy. You really, really will. And it's all about promoting you and 88 Acre. You know what I mean?
You have my permission right now.
Nice. Because believe me, I'll get Barbara to send you a copy of what the last one was. You'll love it.
Galaxy.
Now, Robbie, unfortunately, you see, I'm kind of having difficulty pronouncing some of your band members' names, especially the last one, so I can get Steve. You know what I mean? But I want to give it the proper justice. So how would you like to be able to give me a shout out for the members of your band?
Well, perfect. I'd like to give it a shout out to Pat Renier, who is the lead guitar player and the sound behind 88 Acres. I'd also like to give a shout out to Greg Pops, who is the backbone, the skins, the cymbals, the tones, the drums. And on the bass is Steve LaFave. He is a new addition. And right now, John Losi is taking a small vacation from the band. We're in talks of him possibly coming back. It all depends on what he's doing. He may be leaving Cornwall. So we're hoping that John doesn't do what he's got to do for himself, but at the same time, a man's got to do to feed his family, right? Like, he has to do what he's got to do.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely, fully get that. Shirley from Heidelberg is asking, Robert, where is your studio? Where did you get this done? Who's your producer?
My producer is Mark Muir. He is my cousin through marriage. My wife is a Muir. He's been my long good buddy now for the past 10 years. And what happened, he loves to do the work. He is the creativity behind the sound. But at the same time, without me, there's no 88. I write a lot of the stuff at home, all the melodies, I write the lyrics. We have been teaming up in the last 2 or 3 years, Mark and I, writing a lot together, because he's found that I've grown so much and that working together, it's only gets better as opposed to separately not working, like working together but separately. So, but yeah, it's here in town though. We have it here in town.
Now, Richie and Thomas, Richie and Thomas coming from Alberta, Canada, are asking, while the pandemic kind of deal was going on, did you record more? Did you write more? And are we looking at more new music coming in the near future?
Yes, there's new music coming in the future. I did write more, but I also released during the pandemic. I took the opportunity to be at home, write, and release newer music. I did write a song about the pandemic. It's called Never Give Up. I just talked about how the heroes are not what's on the screen that we watch on television. It's who grinds and puts on the uniform and works the 12-hour shifts. Basically, like that's what I did there. But yes, there is a whole lot of new music coming. It's in the works. We've got Volume 2. We're trying to wrap it up, but at a lot of times too, it costs money. So everyone's, we're not rich. I like to say.
Well, that's the whole idea of trying to get you as much promotion as possible around the world. And believe me, right now, you are around the world. At the same time, trying to get people to go to your website, buy merch. Go on, double dare you. Everything from caps, t-shirts, onwards apparently, so go and have an explore on the website. Now, at the same time, I take it you drink a little bit from time to time. how tipsy do you get?
Oh, geez, tipsy. I get tipsy pretty easily. That's how this song came about. The wife Tammy asked me. She's like, "Please go to the store for me. I would like you to go to the store." And I'm like, "Well, babe, I can't drive. I'm tipsy." And I was kind of stumbling down the stairs a little bit. Not to say that I shouldn't be walking. I walked to the store, and as I'm walking to the store, I'm just like, "Let's get tipsy," you know. And I'm like singing along and having a good time. And then by the time I came back home, I grabbed my guitar and just started. I got a song. Give me a minute, and I wrote it out. And within 10 minutes, that one was done. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Well,
Much.
I got to let you know, Robbie, and this is rather fascinating, that I actually play a number of your songs in The Breakfast Show. I see your name come up regularly, and The Breakfast Show is primarily made up of the amount of requests and the amount of requests for a particular, not only artist, but the particular song. Because believe me, an artist can have a dozen songs. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
It's all put together by what comes through from reception. It gets piped through to production. Production work it out, and between the two of us, from about 1 o'clock in the morning through until about 5:30 in the morning, we are designing The Breakfast Show, and your name is coming up regularly. 1,892 requests for Tipsy so far.
Wow.
It is relating. People are relating to this particular track.
Wow, that is amazing. How does tipsy make you feel?
Well, to be quite honest, I don't drink anymore, but I know what tipsy's all about. I've been there, done that in the day. But as far as the song goes, I'm absolutely loving it. I really, really am. And as I say to you, I'm an engineer, have been for about 37 years. I've been a DJ for slightly longer than that. And I've been a front of house engineer for about 35 years. And having worked with some of the biggest bands around the world, as I say to you, it's not often that I find somebody, an artist, a band, or something that takes my imagination. Robbie, your work really does. So right here at Galaxy is Robbie Watson and 88 Acre with Tipsy. Robbie, you're not a vegan, are you?
Sorry?
You're not a vegan, are you?
No. I had my turkey and my meat this afternoon, yeah.
Okay. So you're a meteorologist like me?
Sure, yeah.
Nice. Believe me, Robbie, I ask everybody this. Have you ever tried a vegan sausage?
No.
No, neither have I. I'm trying to figure out if they're made of real vegans or not.
It depends. Oh, that's a good one.
Well, you can understand how upset I was when I found out the Girl Guide biscuits weren't made of Girl Guides. But I've been hounding Johnson & Johnson for the last number of years. I've been sending them emails. They just will not return my emails at all. I want to know how many babies goes into a bottle of baby oil.
Oh my God. I knew it was coming. It was coming. Oh.
Do you remember William Shatner?
Here we
Of
go.
course, yes.
Yeah, Captain Kirk. I see in the news this morning that he's had to recall his woman's lingerie from the market.
Really?
Yeah, apparently Shatner Panties isn't a good name.
No.
No.
No, Shatner Panties is not a good name.
Robbie,
That is wonderful.
we're going to go with the last track we have for you, which is No More Whiskey, and this is your number one track, okay? I'll give you the stats on that very, very shortly.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, no problem. No problem.
Nice. And sorry about the bad jokes. I used to be a stand-up comedian as well.
Those are great jokes, and I wish I had prepared some jokes. I didn't.
No worries. Stanley Oss. How are you, brother man? It has been a dog's age to see you. How's St. Petersburg? Love, love, love you, my friend. We really, really do. Not so much your leader, but we love you, Stanley. We really do. So keep in touch, man. Keep in touch. Now, at the same time, we're talking to Robbie Watson from the band 88 Acre, and believe me, absolutely loving this. Unfortunately, he's scratching his head now, questioning himself, really, did I need to go through this on Thanksgiving Day? This guy in New Zealand, he's crazy. He's crazy. Now, do you know much about New Zealand, Robbie?
I'm sorry, but no, I don't. No.
Okay, well, let me fill you in a little bit, condense it a little bit for you. Here in New Zealand, we're made up of primarily 3 islands. Of course, we're not counting the Chathams, which is still ours, over one side of us, or the West Island, which is basically Australia. We're not counting them either, but we will claim them if they see the need. I think Barbara was talking about flags as well. We're not putting up their flag until they have a New Zealand Prime Minister.
Okay.
Okay, but New Zealand is made up of 3 islands, one right down the very bottom in New Zealand, tiny little island, but the only one with a real name. It's called Stewart Island. Literally, good manly name too. Then whoever put New Zealand together, or named New Zealand, ran out of imagination, called the next one South. So we're in the north, which is a little bit bigger again, if you know what I mean, and we're on the east coast of the North Island. We're the first in the world to see the light of day every day.
That's right, yes. That I know.
Now, I did say something about Australia. Well, they're in a little bit of a turmoil. Well, one state of Australia is in a bit of turmoil right now because we've just had the passing of the Queen, if you know what I mean, just recently. And, of course, the capital of Australia is Canberra. Those guys up there are scratching their heads all over the place because now there's a state there called Queensland that wants to change its name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they want to call it Kingsland now.
No, if it was always Queensland, it should stay the way it is. I don't feel changing the names of anything, it changes their history. The history stays the same. You can't just change your name and then proof everything in the history is gone. It just doesn't work that way.
I need you to talk to the Maoris here in New Zealand and say it's New Zealand, not Aotearoa. We can call it Aotearoa New Zealand. We'll compromise, but we're not just going to call it Aotearoa. That's a good idea. Yes, but, at the same time, if they change the name to Kingsland, I'm basically stuck because I can't tell people if you're a guy that likes to wear a woman's dress and put on, heels and a handbag, Queensland is the place to be. It is. You can go driving fast and call it drag racing. You know what I mean? But I can't send anybody there to Kingsland. I really can't.
Well, they'll just have to find a new place to wear the dress and heels.
Yeah, well, I thought it was that, a good name for them. By the way, I saw a photo the other day of our new King Charles, playing an electric guitar, which really fascinated me. The caption said, formerly known as. King Charles, formerly known as Prince. Yeah, believe me, I get it. Loved it.
That's another good one. Good one.
And now at the same... I'm sorry, Robbie, believe me. I throw these in all the time. Why I asked you if you knew much about New Zealand is quite simply, would you consider coming to Aotearoa, New Zealand, and performing in front of New Zealand audiences for, on New Zealand stages?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm willing to travel anywhere to share the music, the story, share the love, to bring people together and have them unite as one. That's my whole goal. It's just bring people together, sing in harmony. There's nothing else better than holding hands, singing Kumbaya.
It's been a long time since I've seen guys who wear black leather jackets, big beards, singing Kumbaya. It really has. But I have seen it. Actually, I saw it in Sulphur City.
But it will happen, and it always will happen. We're the biggest teddy bears. We're teddy bears, furry and black and cuddly. That's what we are. Just we have a growl sometimes, maybe.
I get it. I do. Believe me, I've lived in the environment long enough to be able to understand that anything is possible, and it doesn't matter what leather jacket you're wearing at the time. Now, having said that, and I got to be honest with you, I'm loving the outfit that you're wearing today, very much so. But I see you got dog tags there. Are you former military?
No, this is not military at all. It's just a single plate that I was going to stamp my wife and I's name on it and just give it to her one day as an anniversary gift, but now I've given away my secret.
Okay, I get it. Well, you see, I was in the Air Force for many years. Well, actually 5 years. I was a flight sergeant in the Air Force, to which today is actually, I think it's residences. I think they tore the place down, literally, and built on the place. But believe me, I've been in the military a number of years, and I just looked at your dog tags and thought, this man is worth respecting. He really is. Even so, he's still wearing dog tags. The reason why I said that is one of our politicians not so long ago says that the Ukrainians should be making dog tags out of the Russian airplanes, and I think that's rather amusing.
Yes, that would be amusing. That's great.
Dear. Even though we do have a young Russian man who's watching us right now, I'm only having a laugh, literally. Now, have you ever heard of a place called Queenstown? Now, this is different from Queensland because it is actually part of New Zealand.
Maybe. I had an old Scotsman friend, and he spoke a lot of the Scottish area and where he was from, and he told a lot of stories. I may have heard of Queenstown through him. It's possible.
Okay, yep. Believe me, Christchurch, Dunedin, all of those very rich with the Scottish influence. It really is. In fact, my mother was Scottish, I've got to be honest. My father was an American Indian, but my mother was Scottish, which meant that if they took me to the pub, we wouldn't pay for the beer and would scalp you afterwards. But that happens. Now, the reason why I asked this is if you're going to come to New Zealand, I've got a couple of things I'm going to warn you about. First of all, if you're going to hook up with me, bail money. Bring bail money. Believe me, I'm notorious, literally, and anything can and usually does happen. Now, Queenstown, and believe me, it's really exciting. I was on a plane to Queenstown not so long ago, had a big guy sitting next to me, an American fella, white knuckling it because, of course, where it is in around all of these mountains, and the turbulence there is just splendid. It's like a good, roller coaster if you really want to have it on a good day. On a bad one, yeah, not so much. But this guy, literally, nervous sweat running out of him like crazy, and he's looking at me, and I'm sort of smiling at him, and he goes, "Do you think we're going to crash?" And I says, "Yeah, of course. We'll go straight to the scene of the crime. No worries."
Oh, yeah, don't worry. Straight to the scene of the crime.
This guy, no, I'm not kidding you. When we came down, and we were in a pocket friendship at the time, he literally bent down and kissed the ground. He was that scared, So, more power to him.
Yeah, to get your feet back on the ground, yeah. It doesn't take much to scare anybody.
But now, at the same time, Queenstown is a little boutique kind of town come wannabe city. And it's a place where all the A-listers from around the world go to get away from the paparazzi, take the significant other and, whatever else that comes along. And I'll let you know, pre-pandemic was Kevin Costner was down there, Keanu Reeves, Tom Cruise. It's that kind of place, you know what I mean? Shania Twain actually owns property down there. The reason why I say this is you never know who you're going to run into, Robbie, but you don't want to run into me.
Well, it seems like I have to run into you first to run into everyone else, so...
Well, the thing is, Robbie, I'll throw you off a bridge.
Okay. All right. I'll maybe not if I get you first.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll go with you if you really want. A good friend of mine invented a thing called bungee jumping, and he introduced it to New Zealand, and we've been doing it for many years now. So I'd love to be able to take you down there and do some crazy stuff. Literally, Robbie, if it doesn't make the old heart go, then you're not living. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is just it. How are you going to get the blood flowing? How are you going to get the heart moving? You don't want it to stop, right?
Absolutely. I am a qualified pilot too, by the way. I do fly planes and rotor helicopters as well. And I said to one guy not so long ago, who is a pilot as well, I says, don't worry, bro, we'll toss you out of a perfectly good plane. He says, no. No. Well, believe me, I've been doing skydiving for about 30 odd years as well, since I was in the Air Force and learnt to do it there. That's where I got my very first pilot's license. So, you know, I kind of like to defy things, and gravity is one of them. So, well, actually, I like to embrace gravity from a great height. If you feel like a tandem, I'd love to take you.
Oh, that would be amazing. If we were down there, we're just got some time to kill. Why not take a couple lessons and jump from a plane? And oh, geez, that's thrilling. That would be a thrill.
Now, I got to ask you though, why don't blind people skydive?
Because they don't see the ground.
No, it scares the shit out of their dogs.
Oh, scares the shit out of their dog.
No more whiskey, Robbie. Tell me about this. This is your #1 requested track, literally, and you're at 1,927 requests so far. How come it's so successful? Tell me about the lyrics.
You ever get into a fight with your wife?
I try not to. She hurts.
Mine always wins.
Mm-hmm.
This was a night where I was with my bandmates, and I really did drink too much. I couldn't speak, and you know, it's just one of those very embarrassing nights. And she said, "Don't take him out. He's hammered. He needs to go to bed." And I'm like, "Oh, all right, you know, one of those great nights." And then in the morning, she kind of reminded me of what I've done, and she was a little upset of what I was portraying, who I'm supposed to be, right? You're not supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that. And I started writing it down, and, you know, just like there's no more whiskey in the bottle, you know, we drank it. Sorry, I love you. And I basically just summed up a few pointers of where I've gotten in trouble, and then whatever sounds funny, whatever makes the song interesting, and just keep it very traditional at this point. A lot of my songs are, like I said earlier, are a story of my life with some embellishment, of course, with writing in some areas. But when I'm in trouble, you can bet that it was a trouble song. When I break her heart, you bet that was a I broke her heart song. You know what I mean?
I understand. I really, really do. So, here at Galaxy is Robbie's #1 song. Yes, Robbie Watson and 88 Acre. Here is No More Whiskey.
There ain't no whiskey in the bottle.
How many countries are tuned in?
178.
Nice. 178 countries are tuned in, brother man.
Nice.
How
That
many,
is wonderful.
how many cities?
2394.
Ooh, 2,394 cities around the world.
Wow.
You're a superstar, bro.
You are too, my friend. You are a superstar. You make superstars.
Look, bro, to be honest with you, I'm just a humble conveyor of damn good music.
And I appreciate that. I'm humbled to that too. It's very, very hard to have someone to listen to a song or anybody's independent music and take it to heart and not look at it as a top 40 commercial thing. We're all top 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have to be certain entertainers to be one.
No, believe me, bro, the only quality is it's got to be quality. That's it, literally. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you the reason why I actually did listen to your music in my car is, you see, that's where I make up my decisions on whether or not I'm going to do the interview, okay? The other reason, there's two reasons. Nobody else wants to drive with me.
No, you drive too fast.
Well, check this out. Barbara's son is a former New Zealand car racer, goes sideways for a living, right?
Hey, yeah.
Her grandson is a current New Zealand champion, goes sideways for a living.
Okay.
She won't get in the car with me.
Get in the car with them?
He's a great
Yeah, she'll get in the car with them. She just won't do it with me. Apparently, I do it more dangerously.
I think you need to go a little bit sideways.
I believe in sideways. Music that you can drive fast to going sideways. Can't get much better. You know what I mean?
You can't. No, yeah. Gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah, I just don't abide by the rules that they have to abide by. Let me put it this way. I used to be a towie back in the day because I got sick and tired of pulling my car out of the ditch.
Hang on, I gotta go home, gotta get the tow truck.
Yep.
I'll be back.
True. I used to work for a company called RJ Don in Auckland. And the only reason was I needed to pull my car out of the ditch more times than not. And, I got a job out of it as well.
Yeah. And got good at it, right?
Yeah.
Got a job, and
Yep.
I'll get that out in 2 seconds.
Absolutely. Problem is, all of Terry's friends and everything used to have my phone number on speed dial. So, yeah, I was forever pulling people's cars.
You're famous.
We're going to wrap it up right now, Robbie, but please don't go anywhere just yet because we're actually going to take a few photos, bits and pieces. Barbara's going to make this into a movie for you, and, I suggest maybe you show it to people you don't like. You know what I mean?
I'm going to show it to everyone I don't like and do like.
Well, I tell you what, have you ever been a cartoon before?
Sometimes, yeah. No,
Yeah.
no.
No?
Just something from my old acid trips.
Okay, well, you're going to be now. Believe me. You'll get the traditional movie that's being made, and then you'll get the cartoon form as well. I don't know what it is, but people seem to want to watch those more and more and more than they do with the traditional ones.
It's intriguing. It does something to the brain.
Yeah. Look, it's one of the few things that actually makes me look good.
Same here.
Well, I got a perfect face for radio. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and this does bring us to the end of this particular interview, and absolutely loved every minute of it. Just got one final question before we go, Robbie. Are we looking at releasing more new tracks anytime soon? Can we get a new album off you once it's done so that we can do some giveaways?
Oh, most definitely. Once I get that album done, I'll send it your way, and then you guys can start doing giveaways for Volume 2. Sundress is the first single off of Volume 2, and I will have some, hopefully just after Christmas. Well, just right after Christmas as the holidays come up. Not a lot of new music goes out after November. We start kind of wait for January to get that nice push. So 2023, January is when I'm hoping to be done with Volume 2, and I should get that to you by then.
Absolutely fantastic, my friend. At the same time, will you come back again? Will you release new music with us? Will you go subject yourself to this torture again?
You know what? I don't think sure I could. Most definitely.
You're too polite. You really are. Me personally, I'd tell me where to go. But having said that, my friend, thank you so much. By the way, are you familiar with the Galaxy Artist page on Facebook?
Yeah, I do believe I've subscribed, yes.
Nice. Use it. Believe me, the amount of people that go and have a look in there, everybody from labels, managers, venue owners, agents, other artists, general people like myself, we all go and have a look in there, and it doesn't matter if it's a new logo, a new song, opening of a shoebox, I don't care. Use it. The more times people get to know who you are, it's about promotion. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I will share along with your page.
Nice. One other thing too. Just before we go, next time you're near a recordable 58 microphone, you know, something you can record on, how would you like to do me a couple of voice drops that I can add on to our radio shows? The more times people hear your voice, hear who you are and what band you're with, the more they get to know who you are as well. Go and find out. Will you do that for me?
I can do that for you. I will get that done to you within a week or two.
Awesome. MP3, please. Not WAV or anything else. MP3. Our system seems to like that. But please, we want to get behind you as much as possible. We really, really do. We see a future for not only yourself, but 88 Acre as well. And think that, you know, you're just on that precipice now of making it. Same time, really excited about getting you into the Lazy Indie magazine as well. Believe me, you're going to love that as well. It's all about promoting you and 88 Acre.
I'm looking forward to that one as well. That's going to be exciting.
Nice. I'll get Barbara onto that for you. Also t-shirt sizes, caps, everything like that. Believe me, if you feel the need to splurge my way, we'd love and be very proud of promoting your brand while we do these things. It's subliminal. It is subliminal. I'm not doing this. Really. It's just not happening. But these are my bros. So, believe me, Robbie, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I'm very, very humbled to meet you. I am so looking forward to following your career from this point onwards. And all I can say, Robbie, is welcome to the family.
Thank you. It's been a privilege, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Grant. Thank you, Barb. Thank you to 107 Galaxy FM. It's been great. Thank you so much.
In the meantime, let me tell you how happy we are to be in association with Rise Up TV. Big Records, Sony Music, The Orchard, here with Galaxy.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy 107 FM in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record and Sony Music The Orchard.